Hello Tinterweb, it's Dad Vader again, and here's the next episode of this Star Wars Imperial Star Destroyer build. Oh my days. So, what's up DV, I hear you say, and if you didn't, I'm going to tell you anyway. So when I started this build, as you may or may not be aware, I was using the Lego plans to build this build. And you're thinking, where is he going? It's behind you. It's because I've got to a certain point with the skeleton of the outline of the Star Destroyer. I'm really pleased with where I got up to. And as you can see here, if you look at the transparent lines, horizontal and vertical axes, they're the mirroring guides. So Space Engineers allows you to build symmetrical on multiple planes. With the original build that I did in the first couple of episodes, and you can see that behind us in the background, I'd neglected to look further on in the plans and found out that I needed to duplicate both axes, not just horizontal but vertical. Not just vertical but horizontal as well. So there you just saw me completing the second build. Just some slight tweaks and modifications, and then putting the size back on, which brings us back to where we were at the end of the last episode. Now before I continue with this build, I wanted to add detailing to the sides of the Destroyer. They're in the plans, in the Lego plans. And when the sloping sides get added, I'm not sure how easy it will be to add these afterwards. And what I wanted to do is to basically randomize. So you can see that I'm placing different types of blocks. I'm going to speed it up now because we're going to do the entire side. And I'm using all sorts of antennas. They're I think they're ore finders. I don't know the exact words. Lots of different block types. Some grills, windows. Little barriers that we use as well, all different types. And I tried my best, and the reason why I sped this up so quickly is because I tried my best to make it as random as possible. So there's no particular pattern I'm following. Each panel will be different. So when we see the finished product now, we're going to slow up a little bit. We'll just speed it up actually towards this end bit. Get right to the end. There we go. Looks a bit confusing this fast. Bear with me. Here we go. So now that we've done that entire side, you can picture now, although it might not be model perfect, the original Star Wars plan, we no longer have those stepped sides. It's difficult to see. It should look more sloping. That was the desired effect. So we'll do a quick flyby now. So imagine you're in a smaller fighter ship or something flying past. That's the potential to strike one of those parts sticking out. Oh, my fingers and toes are tingling just at the thought of getting this thing completed. Now it's become a labour of love to a degree, only because in my real time I've spent several long hours rebuilding this. So now we're going to make preparation for the bridge. This actually in the Lego plans comes a little bit later, but they introduce like a sloping platform from the back end of the ship down to the centre of the ship, and then introduce the bridge as a separate section, which we'll build in reverse order in probably in the next episode. Had some issues with height, so I'm just using the build tool here just to measure. This is the centre section. I'd already made some corrections here. Here we go, I'm just going to build out now. Start building this down. And because I can't actually build components with a direct slope, we know that now from one of the first episodes of this speed build where we tried to do the side sloping. So I'm stepping down instead. It was actually at this point where I realised that I'd been mirroring top and bottom as well as left and right. If you can say top and bottom, because in space there is no up, down, left or right, is there? But so I switched that mirroring off and deleted the section that I didn't need, because the underside of the ship doesn't obviously have the bridge, and so we didn't need that in at all. So that's done. I've cut away from that now and completed that section. Just the finishing touches now. Some of just the detailing. Whether this or not will be in the final build or not, I don't know. And then finally, this final part of the episode, I'm actually going to start building and doing work on the engines, the rear of the ship. And actually this is the first time we're adding panelling, so this is where we're going to start to see the ship really take shape. Now, these aren't the main thrusters. I don't believe the main thrusters come later. These are going to be 2 of 4 smaller engines at the rear of the Star Destroyer. And what I'm trying to do here is, as best, mirror as possible, but the LEGO plans use kind of an outward facing cone shape, so it starts narrow in the centre and then widens at the end, look like a rocket booster basically. I can't do that in Space Engineers. Everything's got blocks. And then when I came down to place the actual thrusters, because we are going to be powering this ship, it's not just going to be a model, it's going to be a working ship. I realised that the blocks are three wide. They're an odd shape, so we had to adjust the plan slightly to cater for that. So you saw just a moment ago I deleted a section and put it back in again. Now I'm working out the design. So I want it to look like it cones out, it fans out ways. Just making uses of the bridges there, just doing some finishing touches. Remember, this is mirroring now on the opposite side. And there we go. Actually, at the end of this episode I go back in and after recording this I jumped back in and mirrored the top 2 thrusters as well, because we should have had the the horizontal mirroring plane in place. And when we finish the rest of the back end of the ship in the next episode, that'll be mirrored top and bottom. So there you go. So from the back of the ship, preparation for the bridge there at the rear, into the front. That now brings us up to speed. I'm a lot happier with this build now, some slight modifications. I'm really looking forward to the next episode, and I hope you are too. I've been Dad Vader, thanks for watching.
I can't breathe in this thing!